Hey guys, UnoPro here, back for another advanced replay analysis, this time joined by NowayitsJ, doing something a little bit different this time. We're actually going over a best of 5 he played with TheScientist recently, just in a scrim kind of setting, and going to be talking about the games. Not going to be pausing as much because there's a lot more games this time. But anyway, Jay, would you like to introduce yourself, introduce the deck a little bit?
Yeah, hey, I'm Jay, and I'm a tournament player for Duelist. I just recently won the last Bloodborne with this banner deck, and I wanted to show it off versus Scientist. And it's a control banner deck with a lot of early game to try and survive decks like Songhai, and then you just want to get to six or seven mana, and then you just start spamming Pandoras, Sinjas, stuff like that, and you just win through late game.
Yeah, awesome. So we have a lot of late game for this deck. How often do you find yourself with a hand that's just really slow, nothing you can really play early on?
Actually, not very often because I actually run more early game than most decks. Because most decks, they're trying to stay around 9 or 10 2-drops, so I'm running at about 11 or 12. So even if I do open 1 or 2, I still have plenty of early game to make sure I don't skip early game turns.
Yeah, makes sense. So for card draws suddenly become very important with the new patch. You're only running the Mogwais and Cryogenesis, you can also count a little bit. How have you found Mogwai? Have you considered other options like Spelljammer, Sojourner, those kind of things?
Yeah, I've tried Spelljammer, but I only think it's good in like really aggressive lists because they have to choose between taking 2 damage from the Spelljammer or drawing. So, I think for slower decks like Vanar, Spelljammer's not as good because it helps your opponent, so you can't just simply outvalue them late game. But Mogwai has been really good because it just floats around in the background, and your opponent has to waste a removal like Onyx Bear or something to just get rid of it.
Yeah, Mogwai is definitely really good in decks that can punish your opponent for not having board control. And once you have board control, it's just going to keep building on that, allow you to keep it, and really, kind of punish decks that can't keep up with you. Okay, so we have some rather
it's
interesting.
really annoying.
Yeah, we have some rather interesting choices at the 6 and 7 mana slots. We got the 1 Dragon Lord, the 2 Pandora, not something you see very often, and the 1 Red Sinja. Can you go into a bit more detail about those choices? Because it's not something we see very often.
So first off, for the Juggerlord, I just run 1 because it's for Cryogenesis. I wanted at least 1 late game Vesper, and it's the best one in my opinion because whenever you're on 9 mana, you can Cryogenesis into Juggerlord, and you can play it the same turn. Whereas like the Tree Grove, I forgot its name, but you can't play it the same turn you Cryogenesis. Pandora, I chose it over Dark Nemesis because whenever I was trying Dark Nemesis, I kept finding games where I'd play it, then I just instantly get removed. So it at least has some kind of instant value, and I actually feel you have to run Hearth Sisters with Nemesis to make it good. So it's extra space if you run Nemesis. For Senja, I actually really love this card. I actually want to put more in, but the deck space is so tight. It's really good for late game removal, like killing other Sinjas, Pandoras, and stuff. So it's just another removal, basically.
Yeah. So I've noticed there's like lots of 1-ofs, lots of 2-ofs in this deck, which is not something we've seen heaps in Duelist in the past. Obviously, having the 1 card draw change makes that a little bit less consistent, but on the other side, you have a lot more options in your opening hand. How's that kind of played into it? Like stuff like Crystal Wisp is really good early game. You're much more likely to draw it in your first 5 cards now, but late game, these 1-offs can be a bit inconsistent. Have you found anything like that?
No, not really, because worst I can replace them, but even like Crystal Wisp, if I draw it later in the game, I could just mark a Solitude it to make it useful, or usually I just replace it though, it's not too big of a deal. And I'd rather have a versatile like deck than do the same thing every game, but have worse matchups. Like, for example, I run 1 Zinru for Lantern Fox and Obelisk, so if I didn't have that in the games I play it, then I just lose to like Obelisk and stuff. Whereas if I draw it, then I could just like swing the game really hard. So
Yes.
I like having versatility.
So the idea is kind of like every matchup you have these cards that can allow you to always compete, which is It's definitely something good,
Yeah,
and as a tournament player, I'm sure you
yeah, I
still
like
have that
the
versatility.
yeah,
Alright, so I think
yeah, I
we're
really
pretty
like
much ready
versatility.
to get into the games. I will just take Julius off the screen so we don't see the results beforehand. And we'll get into the
Alright.
first replay. Are you ready to hop into it right now?
Yeah,
Yep, alright, just hopping in now.
I'll pause it and okay. Oh wow, this is a new replay system. I didn't even notice.
Alright,
Okay,
so
I'm ready when you are.
Yep, so this is Scientist's Vaynar list. He's got the mulligan there. So we're not going to try and pause too much just because we don't have too long. How do you feel about the Vaynar versus Songhai match in general?
Oh, are we playing the replay by the way, or are we
Yeah, I
pausing
just
it for now?
started then, so.
Okay, I just started to. Okay, I think it's pretty. Well, for most people's opinion, they think Songhai should just stomp Banner, but in my opinion, from my experience, I've been winning most of my games, and I feel it's even after the change because they can't just kill you turn 3. They run out of cards so
Yeah,
fast
could you just
now.
let us know when you get to the start of your turn, just so we can catch up and be on the same sync?
Okay. Okay, it's my turn now.
Yep.
You want to start?
Yeah. Alright, all good.
Okay.
Okay, so here we've got a rather awkward hand with the Snow Chaser. What are you thinking replace-wise here?
I think I'd replace Archon here because I don't think I'd get to it for another like 3 turns, so I'd rather look for more early game to survive.
Yep, makes sense.
And I do.
Okay, so a bit of an awkward start without that second 2-drop or 3-drop, but I do like just moving up here. It's a play I don't do enough myself, but you know, keeping it protected from that Jaxie in general is definitely good.
Yeah, I wouldn't have played Snow Chaser where I did. I would have put it in front of the Mystic if I didn't have Solitude, but because I have Solitude, I could put it closer to his minion, so if he does play a minion there, I could just Solitude it and kill it.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So we have lots of answers to something like Lantern Fox now, which is a card I definitely base a lot of my mulligan decisions around. Can I deal with turn 1 Tuskball? Can I deal with turn 2 Lantern Fox is a lot of my thinking when I'm playing against Songhai. Okay, so
Oh yeah, Tusk is really annoying.
okay, so he brings out the Spelljammer. So Spelljammer is a really interesting card to verse because if you kill it immediately, you're giving up that 1 card draw, but you're also giving him another card draw. Is this a pretty high priority thing to kill for you now? Well, especially now it's got the buff, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I try my best sometimes to kill it as soon as possible, just because I think I'll value Songhai anyway. But if I'm low on cards, I don't have many plays. I'll try and let it live to try and see more plays for next turn. But I try to kill it as soon as possible if I can.
Yeah, makes sense. So here we have heaps
if I
of
have
options.
a good hand.
So you can mark a Solitude, you can buff Primus and trade in, you can Cryogenesis it. What's kind of running through your mind at this point?
I have a lot of options, so I think I'm just gonna try and go for the Cryogenesis to see what I get. And so I have oh, I did. Okay, yeah, I wanted to see if I would get Lord, so I could play it for 2 turns, and then I was just gonna kill his board.
Yep. So this way, yeah, we clear the most, only the Jaxie lives, and we've actually developed our board, so I quite like that.
Yeah. And I'm just walking up here so I could be in his face whenever I drop the Jugger Lord 2 turns later. Usually I'd want to sit in the back and be safe, but I'm really healthy.
Yeah.
And
So,
I have board.
in this kind of situation, are you, with the Dragon Lord, are you waiting to see a Bear Seal? We know that most Songhais now are running 3 Bear Seals. Are you just playing it out and knowing you have enough late game threats that later on it won't matter?
I try my best to try and bait it out, but I have so many late game threats I don't even care. If they Onyx Bear Sale, I'll just drop like a Pandora next turn anyway, or something like that.
Yeah. And as we see, placing into the Pandora, that's a pretty strong late game kind of curve here.
Yeah, and Mini Jax is super annoying. he could just kill my Rejuvenator with Killing Edge, so I just wanted to fox it.
Yeah, and especially without an answer to Killing Edge in the hand, I think that's definitely the right play. So I love this line here. I think it's perfect. Just get rid of the mini Jax problem, center yourself, and protect your Rejuvenator.
Yep. And now I could start curving out my late game.
Yeah, that's a very strong late game hand. Though I guess Blade Seeker is one of the more problematic cards for a hand like this.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I could replace into a fox or something, but if not, I could try and stall. I kind of wanted to keep the Dancing Blade there, but I really wanted a Chromatic Cult or Cryogenesis or some kind of aspect of the Fox or something like that to instantly kill it.
Yeah, so I kind of find it interesting that you didn't choose to block the Dragia Lord with the Hammond with the Dragia Lord, because I think you could have moved up and then played it in the same spot. Was there any reasoning behind this, or are you just not that worried about Hammond? 23 life.
Oh, you mean walk up to spaces?
Yeah.
Where the Dragon Lord is? Oh, that's actually a good point. I probably could have done that in hindsight, but I didn't want to be in range of his general.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even if he does have an Onyx Barrel and I'm taking 2, it snowballs.
Yeah, that's true. I think I think you can go that kind of argument where if he doesn't have Onyx Bear Seal, you're still in decent shape here. If he does have Onyx Bear Seal, you're in better shape here, and if he doesn't, then you're still in good shape.
Yeah, I think the play you said would have been better. I didn't even think about that, but at least I'm not taking 2 damage, I guess.
Yeah. Alright, so at least we can deal with Hammond this turn, but still a little bit awkward.
Yeah, right here I could kill off his Blade Seeker if I want, but I don't think that's a winning play because I'd only have a Jaxi, so I want to try and hope he doesn't have an answer to my Pandora, so he can't hit me, and I'm just going to go for the Pandora and try to live.
Well, we've basically seen he didn't have a Onyx Bear Seal most likely last turn, otherwise he very likely would have played it. Maybe not, but it was a pretty decent chance.
Oh yeah.
So I do like this play. It's not the safest play, but it's the play that gives you the best chance of winning the game, and that's very important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better not to try and live if you can't win. I actually got a really good spawn in provoke here, which was awesome, but he had the right answers for it.
Yeah.
He song-guided me.
I mean, I think it's actually like you could have actually got lucky with the spawn if it was next to your general, then he can't kill it. But yeah, it's having there was a bit annoying. But yeah, you get Songhide sometimes. Hammond is a very, very strong card when it goes unanswered.
Yeah, Heyman's really good.
Yeah,
well,
a lot of
you
people still
actually
underrated.
can do some. Yeah, it can be really bad if they don't have like a Mist Dragon Seal or something, because it keeps hurting them and it snowballs on themselves. But it's really rare they don't have something to teleport it.
Yeah, that's how I kind of find it. Like, there's definitely some games when I'm playing 3 myself, and sometimes your opponent can just kite you to death and it kills you, but it does mean that they're leaving an 8/8 on the board, and that basically means any teleport will just win you the game a lot of the time. Okay, so that was our first.
Yeah, 9 damage.
Probably should do it. 1 actually. Okay, let me just get the replay in. Just starting the second replay now.
Okay. I'm in now.
Alright, yep, I'm in. Okay, so mulligan decisions.
Okay.
It seems pretty obvious. Get rid of 2 6-drops. That's my initial thoughts. Are you ever kind of keeping Archon in this kind of matchup?
The only reason I ever would is because if I open like Crystal Bliss or something, then I would, because it'd just be a lot quicker, and I'd probably have it the next 2 turns or next turn.
Yeah, fair enough. I think as the game kind of evolves with the new patch, there will be more situations where people are keeping these 5 and 6 drops. Similar to way in other games where you'll keep these late drops even though, but with the replace mechanics, you still have enough time to kind of draw into these big late game threats anyway. And especially against Songhai, I think you just have to have an early strong start.
Yeah, you need a really you need 2-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop every turn.
Yeah.
You can't be skipping turns. I actually opened really good here. Double Jack C is so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Unless he has like Twin Strike or whatever.
Yeah, without doubt.
Or Ghost Lightning.
So how well were you of Scientist deck list coming into this series?
Um, I'm not exactly too sure. I saw a glimpse of it like a few days ago, but I still was unprepared. I thought he might have switched or something, so I wasn't trying to metagame or anything and pretend I knew.
Yeah, fair enough. So
Also on his Jaxi placement, I thought that was really weird because he did this, I didn't have to be scared of Lightbender. So like if he put it in the diagonal position, I'd have to place my Jaxi behind me to play around Lightbender. But because he can't take the orb now, I could just put both of them together.
yeah, that positioning does really surprise me. It also means that he can't go 3-drop, 2-drop next turn. So maybe it suggests he doesn't have like a Land Fox in hand or something like that.
Yeah. I asked him why he did that. He said it punishes if the more they play safe and they don't play this aggressive going first, but I still think it's better to go diagonal.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely in that agreement with that one. Just there's a lot of threats when he plays it diagonally. You can now, I feel like you could liberally use a Chromatic Hold on a Jaxi at some point if you needed to, that kind of thing. And if he has a Land Fox, now it's, not very mana efficient if he wants to use the tile, that kind of thing. I'm definitely a big fan of going
and if he
3-drop,
put it
2-drop
diagonal, I'd have to put it... Yeah, I am too. I love that thing.
Okay, so the Spelljammer. So interesting decision. We have the Cryogenesis for it again if we want to.
I think I might just let it live because my hand's kind of weird, but I could see me killing it too.
Yeah, I think the fact that
I
you can't
think I
go
want to
Chromatic
develop
Hold and Cryogenesis is good for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to just go develop the Mogwai and start getting value and just ignore that Jaxi since it's across the map and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, yeah, I do that. I replace the Cryogenesis to develop Mogwai.
And I like not killing off the Jaxi this turn as well.
Yeah, I think my hand was just so awkward. I wanted some late game from his Spelljammer, so I was like, hey, I'll just let it give me a card and kill it next turn.
Do you think there was
And
merit to
here I'm hitting
playing
it.
Healing Mystic on the mana tile and Mogwai even safer?
I think I put it. I had a reason. I just forgot what I did. I think I put it there. Actually, no, you're right. The Mystic should have gone on the mana tile. I forgot why I did that.
Yeah, I think the only reason I could think of is like baiting him into Twin Strike and playing awkwardly on mana. But yeah, I think it's probably just I just love having that Mogwai as safe as possible. Though without the Mask of Shadows, it's not as relevant. But still, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That definitely should have happened. Oh well.
So best of 5, you can't be right in positioning every time.
These Jaxies were bad for both of us, like every single time. They spawned on the worst side both times.
I've got a spectator bug actually. There's a Healing Mystic floating on the side of the page. Oh, there it goes. It's gone away now. First time I've seen that. Okay,
they're trying to mess with us.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, so the Mogwai does get killed, unfortunately. But we're still in a pretty decent position with that Chromatic Hold and Dancing Blades. There's a ton of options here.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And he's
now
let you kill the Land Fox for free.
Yeah, and I'm at 25 and I have like a really good board lead, so it's gonna be really hard for him to come back.
Yeah. Do you think it was possible?
I wonder if I can
to go like. Did you consider going greedier and just like playing the Dancing Blades to kill the Spelljammer just to get it a little bit closer to his general? Like obviously it's slightly worse value, but
I think I wanted the Spelljammer to be alive here, so I could get. Because look at my hand, it's really bad. I just wanted at least some 6-drop next turn.
Yeah, fair
So I
enough.
think I'd keep it alive this turn.
And with him at 6 cards in hand, I think that's definitely a really nice play.
Yeah.
You can answer the smaller minions without doubt, and you actually do have a lot of late game threats.
Yeah, and he has 6 in his hand, so it's kind of hard for him to get the value from Spelljammer if he wants to play like Cayman or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that a lot. Alright, so we do
I
actually do one of
thought
the
for like
threats.
a whole minute. Yeah, I was thinking for like a minute trying to figure out if I wanted to kill it or not.
Yeah. And I think that just shows the fact that he traded in just instantly confirms it was the right decision. You got a card out of it, he didn't get a card out of it, and he made the exact same trade you would have made anyway.
Yeah, and here we go with the Cayman.
Okay, so Cryogenesis immediately screams out as the best way to answer it. Drawing that double Cryogenesis seems pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, that is a really good answer. And next turn I send 2 from that Spelljammer to kill anything he plays next turn too. And develop a huge body.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think that's pretty clearly the right play. So here I imagine you're thinking about going up and attacking. Obviously it's always a little bit risky attacking against Songhai, but I think in this position you can at least afford to think about it.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about it, or at least just go up next to him, so no matter what he does, I'd be in range of him to play Senja to hit myself, for Senja proc to go off, but I think since he's like a Songhai, he just wants to come to me anyway, so I didn't think I needed to be close to him.
Yeah, and I think that's the only way you can risk is getting, too close and then avoiding a hit from something like this. Now you have the option to avoid it.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay, so Archon's actually not
So,
that problematic for you, apart from just the body.
Yep. I was considering hitting it with, so I could just kill it with my Senja and a hero, or attack, and leave Dancing Blade alive, but I really don't want to go to 17 life and be that low, because it's Songhai. So I just, since it's Songhai, they don't really like dealing with big bodies, so one body's enough.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with going greedy, but I think you're in such a nice position with, you have lots of late game threats in your deck. You've got the Dragular Lord, even if he onyxes this one. I think it's fine to just worry about your health, because you know you'll probably win the long game.
Yeah, and I have so much like early game too. Like if he plays Tusk Wars right here, it is Blood Hero Maw.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we've got a Chromatic Cold for the Lantern Fox. Obviously, you want to probably play the Dragular Lord this turn, I'd imagine. Is it important to Chromatic Cold the Fox here?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely don't want to give him more cards than I need to, because
Yeah.
Songhai with so many cards can just kill you so fast.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And we played the Dragular Lord after Bear Seals came out, so good chance he doesn't have another one. I think this is a very strong position.
Yep.
And just keeping him right next to everything.
And he's really low too.
Yeah. So definitely looking very strong here. And without a Bear Seal, he really needs to have a turn, another turn where he goes Bear Seal on a big threat like he did last turn, but I think we just have too many.
Yeah, like if he had Bear Seal. Yeah, if he had Bear Seal and Heyman, that'd be really good. Like, but I have to answer for it anyway, even if he had that.
Yeah, I think that's the power of this new Songhai is those swing turns with Bear Seal can be pretty massive. People are trying to get greedy playing those 5, 6, 9
like,
minions.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old Hailstone prison. Like you just instantly remove anything.
Yeah.
And it feeds Twin Strike.
Yeah, that's also very true. Okay, so I imagine we want to use the aspect of the fox on the hammer pretty much always here.
Yeah.
I guess
and
you
I
could
even
be greedy.
replacing the mountains to.
Yeah, you could be greedy using aspect of the mountains and not using the thing, but I don't think you need to. Yeah.
Yeah, I was one off lethal here too, but he conceded.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong turn. So definitely we saw the late game power of that deck when it can get to late game. And then, Songhai's trying to tempo swing with you Onyx Hammond or something, and you can just go Dragular Lord aspect of the Fox as well. It's doing very similar kind of things.
Yeah, when you draw all those gangsters, it's really hard for Songhai.
Yeah, without that. Alright, so I'm just going to update the score and get the next replay up. I'll let you know when it's ready to go.
Alright. What's funny about all these too is I went second in every single one. Like, I think it'd be really awesome if they could like make a patch to force like going first or something instead of because like so this can't happen where I go second every single game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Alright, so I'm just going to get into the third replay right now.
Okay, I'm in it right now. In the mulligan.
Yep, same here.
Okay.
Alright, so once again, looks like a pretty simple mulligan decision here, just getting rid of the 2 big drops.
Yep. And I have a really good hand, Solitude and Jaxi, just Solitude the mini text after it dies is really strong.
Yeah, definitely. So something we didn't talk about earlier was that you have the actually have the Emerald Rejuvenates in your deck still, 3 of them. It's not something you see very often. What's the reasoning behind this? I imagine it's mainly for the Songhai matchup, but how have you been finding the card now?
For Banner, they have a really tough time surviving against early game decks. That's why I have them, and why I have Blood Tears and stuff. So I need heals, and I don't. Banner doesn't have any other options.
Yeah, makes sense. I think it's definitely a card that's dropped off massively in popularity, but I think Vayner was always the deck that relied on it the most.
Yeah, I think Banner can still make use of it. The nerf really hurts though. Like Banner, the most out of any other faction, it's another inherent nerf, like Hailstone nerf, because it doesn't trade. It doesn't valuably trade into Aspect of the blocks anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm playing around Lightbender here.
Yep. It's definitely very important. I think there are times you can go for like maybe against a completely unknown Songhai deck you can consider not playing around Lightbender, but I think it's just such a popular card now that you want to play around it against most decks almost.
Yeah, and it's just a risk I really don't want to take, even if I know they don't run it. I'm like, maybe they ticked it in.
Yeah.
I just don't want to lose to it.
Yeah, definitely a card that spiked massively in popularity after the patch.
Yeah.
Okay, so here comes a Spelljammer again. Is this another situation where you're thinking you might want it to live, or?
I think I really want to kill it here since I really don't want him to have more cards to kill me with, since I don't have board this time. So I think I want to kill it here.
Yeah, that makes sense. And by killing it, you're not actually like losing out on a draw because you're getting that Vesper if you decide to cryogenesis it. So yeah, I definitely like this play.
Yeah, and I don't really have any I don't have any other play besides solituding the mini decks anyway, so I may as well use it.
Yeah, makes sense. So like it's a decent curve actually now. You have removal and then you can go 6 drops, so I think you're in a pretty decent position here.
Yeah, I think I'm in a pretty good position, especially if I could drop Juggerlord next turn.
So we're definitely seeing, the power of this Vayner deck when Songhai isn't able just to rush you down early on, apply heaps of pressure, then you simply just get to this point where you're playing more minions than they can deal with.
Yeah, once I get to 6 or 7 mana, there's no way to go Pandora's, Sinjos, and all that every turn.
And if they're investing, non-bear seals...
here I just remove...
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if they're putting like killing edges and stuff into it, then it's just good for you anyway.
Yeah. I think I just played the Blood Tier. I really wanted to save this Blood Tier in case he had a Tusk Board, but I really wanted to trap him into Infiltrate Zone 2.
Yeah, I think even though you're like effectively just throwing away a card, you're also kind of gaining a card by guaranteeing you can get that Snow Chaser back effectively. Is kind of the way I view that play, and keeping him on, Infiltrate is always a good thing.
Yeah, I try my best to try and keep or save blood tears in this matchup because they're so good versus Tuskboar, but I think it's more valuable here.
Okay, so here we can see Scientist doing something that I see him doing a lot, and I really like how he does this. He always tries to get some kind of value out of his general, instead of just trading face there, making sure he hits the Primus Fist.
Oh yeah.
May seem obvious in this situation, but it's definitely something I've adapted into my own play after seeing him, is just, if you can, just hit a 2-3 in a lot of matchups, just whenever you can, almost. Just to get that constant value of the general.
Yeah, and as Songhai, you have a really difficult time coming back, so you may as well try and prevent like having to come back by using as much value of your general as you can.
Yeah.
Early.
So we can deal with the Jaxi here, but I think Drag Your Lord seems like a better tempo play. That Jaxi's not really going to do that much by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, if he doesn't have Onyx Spear seal or Onyx Spear seal here, he just loses from all the value.
So what's the reasoning behind running away here? Is it so you can deal with the mini Jax? 50% chance to deal with it, or?
Yeah, it's just to get closer to the mini Jaxes if they spawn on my side.
Yeah, makes sense. I love this it's a very patient kind of approach. And you don't have to really worry about being close, because even if he deals it, you're going to have a Bear Seal to play minions wherever you want, really. And as you said, Songhai wants to be near you.
Yeah, they really want to hit that 2 every turn.
Yeah. Okay, so a bit of an interesting turn here. It's definitely not clear what the best line is here. So what are some options you're thinking here?
I think I really want to develop a Mogwai here, just because I'm kind of running low on cards, so I want to try and see my late games more. Oh, no, I replaced it. Huh. Well, I guess I value killing the Jaxi more, just to have one less threat.
And I think this is another one of those situations where you don't actually mind if Spelljam is available. Because your hand's kind of getting a bit weak, you want to draw into those late game threats, and then once you have those threats, then that's when you really need to kill it.
Yeah, I just hit here because I'm at 21.
Yep,
so I can get 4.
Okay, so there's a big threat, Archon. Pretty good in the Songhai matchup.
Oh yeah.
So he is actually getting...
Yeah, these Spelljammers have been so annoying.
Yeah, it seems like he just keeps drawing them every game.
Yeah. Like right here, without that Pando, Twin Strike wouldn't be able to be used, so Pando's been really good for him for that spell.
Yeah, it's a combination I'm running. I'm running a similar list to him, and yeah, just Bear Seals and Twin Strikes have been amazingly strong. I don't run Spelljam. Actually, I prefer more board centric with Mogwai, but just the basis of the deck is really strong. Okay, so he actually gets a pretty, nice tempo swing here, especially with that buff on the Spelljammer. Makes it really awkward for you.
Yeah, that's a lot of board I have to deal with. Because I have to deal with the Spelljammer and the Tuskboar, because I can't have him getting so many cards every turn. So
yeah.
I'm trying to look for like something to remove both, but I don't.
I think killing the Tuskboar with the general is still definitely the better idea in this scenario.
Yeah, because he's gonna get +1 anyway from either, so I may as well too.
Yeah, and playing the Archon here means that, he might be forced to trade in the Spelljammer anyway. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the second Bear Seal. But you always kind of want to make your opponent trade in the Spelljammer if they have to.
Yeah. That's why I try to hit it to 2 and just leave it there sometimes, so they have to make the trade.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting card, and I'm actually quite happy that it's quite relevant, because it makes a lot of interesting decisions.
Yeah, I really like its art too. It's just such a cool card. I'm glad it's relevant too.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm sure there's a few upset players who probably disenchanted their old Spelljammers who are regretting it, but...
Oh yeah. I know a few people that are salty about that.
Okay, so he plays another Tuskboar, so he's definitely, putting a lot of pressure on now. And his hand is getting low, so Spelljammer has become more relevant, so Not expecting him to trade it in here. I would be surprised if he did.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised he's running low.
I mean, if he had a
And my
spiral or
hand's
something in
pretty.
hand, he might, but...
Yeah, my hand's pretty weird here too, so I don't think I'll be able to answer this too well.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna replace Solitude and look for a removal, since I have no board. Or actually, no, I have the Pando.
Yeah, I
so
think
I
the
could just
Panda
Solitude
is
it.
definitely better to keep the Solitude.
Yeah.
So you have recovery options here, but still quite awkward. He just was able to, basically bring out that early game in the late game and then just kind of flood you out.
Yeah. I thought the Panda was his for some reason. I was like, why does he have a Panda?
Maybe Counterplay needs to make Panda a playable card. So I like this. This is the most defensive play you can make, really.
Yep. Even
as a
putting the
teleporter
Jaxi
can
in front
be
of the redo.
a bit awkward. Yeah, I think that's definitely
Yeah.
the best play. And once again, you can see neither player wants to trade in the Spelljammer. He didn't want to do it last turn. He probably doesn't want to do it this turn. And you're protected against Spiral Technique, which is massive.
Yeah, he did a really funny misplay here. He moved his Primus in a really bad spot because he thought he could hit the Pando. he even hovers over it.
Yeah, we can see that.
That was cute.
I'm sure he wouldn't be
I've
very
done
happy
that in the
about
past
this being
too.
recorded.
Yeah.
It
I did
definitely
that in the
happens.
past too all the time. Yeah. Because when you see a buffed one, you're like, hey, it doesn't have that ability anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. How come he can attack me? But he does have the Twin Strike, so... interesting he didn't choose to attack the Jaxi. It was a possible risk to get more value from the mini Jax, but I think he might just value that general attack more.
Oh, he's hitting it. Oh, he hit it anyway.
Okay.
So, I think he. I don't know. I think hitting it was first was right.
Yeah,
What he?
No, I think it's because he could have had lethal otherwise. I think that's why. If it hit the mini Jax, then he Phoenix Fires, killing edge. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. So he has a 2 Spelljammer. That's really scary.
So we can clear the Spelljammer, but we're getting very, very low.
So I need a Chromatic Holder. Yeah. I just moved my Jaxi up so I don't have to walk down with my General, so I can put the Dancing Blade there without risking my General being hit.
Yep. And we have the option to replace, or we can block off a general attack with the 1-1, with the 2-1, which I think is probably better, just because it's so low.
I wanted to replace it, but I didn't want to. I have few early game in my deck now, so I just didn't want to risk it.
And you are threatening quite a lot of damage next turn. Everything will be in range, most likely.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have lethal if he doesn't kill me or remove something.
Okay, so I think that's pretty fine for you. Seeing that Tusk Ball out of hand when he doesn't have that many cards in hand is pretty nice, though. Then Landfox comes down.
Especially to trade into my. Oh yeah.
It's so annoying when you stabilize the board, you run them out of cards and then double Landfox comes down, and there's no way you can avoid getting them lethal. So I think
they're so annoying.
Yep, and that'll be pretty much game here because there's no way we can avoid giving him two Phoenix Fires.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I just lose here because he just gets 2 no matter what.
Yeah. That's pretty frustrating. Because you finally got board control. You made him use Tusk Balls and stuff like that. So maybe we're just hoping he doesn't see it, but this is the guy who normally gets number 1 on the rank ladder every time, so.
Oh, did he get it last time too? I didn't check.
He was number 1, but I don't know. I don't think it's been the final update has been revealed, so depends if he decayed or not.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
He's always way up there on the ladder.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright. So yeah, he had way more damage than he needed.
Yeah. Just Songhai things.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll just update the score, and I'll tell you when I'm up with the next replay.
Okay, which game is it? The fourth one
Fourth
now?
one, yep.
That we're going into?
Yep.
Um,
Alright,
okay.
I'm clicking it now.
Okay. I just got into
Yep. Alright, so interesting mulligan decisions there. I think it's actually a bug on mine, but yeah, so keeping the early game, getting rid of the late game has pretty much been the general rule. I guess something like a Zenrui you could keep potentially in this scenario. Obviously you just drawn it, but it's something I could consider keeping if I had an early game. But yeah, not a lot of decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I really like Zenrui in this matchup, because if you take Lantern Fox, you just basically win the game from there. It's such a huge tempo swing, so I think I want to keep it no matter what.
Yeah, it's absolutely massive. I just feel like, jumping into bed and crying myself to sleep when it happens. So
Oh, yeah. It's a big reason why I have the tech in there, just because it's such a huge tempo in those matchups. And, I don't think I'm too scared of Jaxi right here, so I'm just playing the Mogwai by itself and playing it away from Tuskboar in the corner.
So this way he needs another 2-drop or 3-drop and Tuskball. Part of me always loves to just have that clear board with a minion, so I would have considered playing Healing Mystic and Manatile and then Chromatic Cold, but I think there's always going to be a lot of Chromatic Cold targets in this deck, so...
Yeah, the big reason I did is because I really value the 2 healing a lot, because it matters a lot. Because sometimes they're not lethal or something, so it comes back.
And there's also potential to steal that Jaxi with a Zenrui the turn after as well, depending on how the game goes.
Oh yeah.
So I think
if only it had one more mana.
Yeah, I think my first instinct in this scenario is to make sure he can't kill off the mini Jax. The mini Jax, the Jaxi.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to put the Mystic as close to him as possible without it being ranged, so I don't want to put it in the corner. I just want to put it somewhere a little lower.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And it can also, this way, like say he moves his general diagonally up, you can move your Mystic and steal like a Lantern Fox if you put it on the Manatile, so it gives you more options with Zenrui. And I think that's the key part of this game will be if you can get value from Zenrui. I don't know how to say it. Is it Zenrui? Is that how you say it? Or you say Zenru?
I think so. I'm not sure. I always say that. It sounds cooler too than whatever else somebody would call it.
Yeah.
Oh, he plays Fox too, yay.
Alright, so he's getting you a lot of value from that Zenrui.
Yeah.
Are you considering...
I think I might keep Pandora here.
Yeah.
Huh?
I like keeping Pandora here. Good chance to ramp onto 7.
I'm blocking off the I'm blocking off the mana tile too, so I'd almost certainly have the mana tile for next turn to go up to 7.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a very strong turn. And I like this general positioning here, just keeping away from the mini Jax makes it fine if he wants to trade in both.
Yeah,
he's definitely overloaded for targets here.
Yeah, he's got to deal with a lot. And then he has to deal with Pandora next turn too.
Yeah. So we will finally get to see that Pandora come out. Oh, we did see it once before actually.
Oh wow, that was a really bad spot. Or it's 50-50, doesn't matter. But it's fun.
And not the best light band in the world, just silencing that Lantern Fox.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna use it for the mana anyway.
Yeah.
I think I just hit with the Mystic here, so he can't trade it or trade really well into the Mystic with his Light Vendor.
Yep, that definitely makes a lot of sense. And I like just playing Pandora aggressively.
Yeah, and if he wants to hit it, he has to stay in range of my Fox and the Pandora.
Yep.
And he has to seal.
Okay, so even though he has the seal, you're still in a pretty nice spot, and obviously I think if you didn't have the seal, you would have just pretty much won the game. Though he does have one of the better answers, combinations you could have had.
Yeah, I got kind of lucky and it hit the Pando with the Twin Strike, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean with Mark of Solitude in hand, it's not actually the worst thing to have a Pando alive instead.
Yeah, because I could just, yeah, that's actually true. Like, it'd be better to have it if I do Solitude in the future.
Yep. So are you thinking Healing Mystic the Lantern Fox here? Or is the health just that too important to you to ever?
I think I'm gonna Solitude it this turn, so I don't want to heal it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just value health on my general more.
And I think just having the Cryogenesis in hand, you're not going to be too worried about spending your mana in the next few turns, so just getting the Mark of Solitude out is probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And if he does Lightbender, it's not a big, because I get attack this general now.
Yeah, so it does nothing really. Only gets the Jaxi, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, once again a really nice position, and he's still attacking, which is, I guess it's more of just an all-in, no other choice kind of play.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna hope I don't have
Anything.
stuff to kill him with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
He makes Spiral a lot, like a real card to draw potentially, but...
Yeah. What am I at, 8 or... Yeah, I'm at
9,
9, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
One
the
above.
difference is huge.
Yeah, that's really big. So I'm just gonna trade the Fox in here because it can attack the general anyway. And I'm not gonna hit his general for Syndra proc because I don't want to be in Spiral range.
Yeah, without doubt. And with only one card in hand, if your general is protected by minions, then you're 100% going to live. Which is just a massive difference to the old 2-card system where you could draw something else, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, the only thing that could save him right here is like Heaven's Eclipse or something like that. But even then, he's wasting his whole turn for that.
Yeah.
And I have lethal set up here if I hit with the Mystic here.
Yeah, I like the Syndra here.
And I do.
Definitely a bigger threat, and the Death Dying Wish isn't really going to be relevant at all versus Songhai, unless the game's going really long.
Yeah, and I got the setup lethal there too with the Syndra, where I couldn't with the Lord.
Definitely the best choice. Alright, so it's 2-2 going into the final game of the best of 5. I'll just update the score. And make sure we don't get spoiled for us. So yeah, definitely got treated to a pretty nice best of 5 here. I'm just clicking now.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm in to the mulligan.
Yep, same here.
Okay.
Alright, so we've seen the Crystal Wisp turn up, a card that hasn't really turned up much so far.
Oh yeah. I got it this time though. I really love Crystal Wisp. If I could play it, I try to. I really wanted to keep Blade there because I really like playing I really like turn 2ing Dancing Blade after I take a mana tile, but I don't think it's good enough for versus Songhai.
Yeah, it makes sense. And especially if he plays something like some of the more sticky stuff like Jaxi and Lantern Fox and 3-1 Tusk Spores, all these kind of cards make Dancing Blades a little bit awkward at times.
Yeah.
So Crystal Wisp can actually be really annoying to deal with, because your opponent never wants to kill it, because they don't want to give you that active mana immediately. They want to make you kill it yourself. But that can be really good at like gaining mana tiles, that kind of thing.
Yeah, basically once I get to 6 mana, I just win. If he doesn't have me really low, so if he gets me to 6 mana faster that way, that's good for me.
So choosing to play around Lightbender.
Playing around Lightbender.
Yep, makes sense.
Oh, and I put my Jaxi in the bottom corner instead of the top one, so if he does take the mana, I can hit it with my Jaxi.
Okay, yep.
If I do like a blood tier or something, yeah.
Yeah, definitely very flexible. Okay, Miss Dragon doesn't seem too bad for you.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's actually good for me in my opinion. I don't think it killed the other half.
I would assume you
Oh, he
can,
has
yeah.
twin strike. Okay.
But I
Yeah,
mean, it
that's
means
good.
you're on a 5 mana next turn, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it was good that he attacked it before. He attacked it with the Jaxi before he twin strike, so it could be in my face. His Jaxi.
Yeah. So there's the dancing blades, but it's definitely a little bit awkward in this scenario. What are you thinking
Yeah.
here?
I think I just want to develop Mogwai and heal. I think I want to hit his Jaxi because if he has another Mist Dragon Seal, he could kill my Mogwai. So I want to at least let him have 2 damage with Mist Dragon instead of 3.
Yeah. And we have an answer to, a killing edged
And I get
mini jacks.
and I have and I get value out of the Mystic this way anyway.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's better. Like, you could play Dancing Blades, but you're just saving 2 damage and putting a 4/6 on the other side of the board. So I think I'd definitely like this.
Yeah.
And you don't want the Mogwais to get caught up in your hand. You don't want them
Oh.
to be very awkward. And you get
That
the
spawn
value.
was. That was I set that out here because like I really didn't want that spawn. Like I wanted it to be a normal game.
Yeah. I feel like so many times the Jaxi spawns just seem to screw everyone over.
Yeah, like people say it doesn't matter, but this matters a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing I really don't like about Jaxi, is that now every game there's at least a bit of randomness. And the nerf helped it a bit, but it's still a very prevalent card. I was always fine with the power level of Jaxi, even as a 2/2. It was just the fact that every game I encountered randomness.
Yeah, like even if it like net wasn't RNG and it always said it'd spawn in the worst spot, like it at least doesn't feel bad because it's not RNG.
And here we see a very nice combination. Dancing Blades.
Yeah, I got the really good answer.
Yeah. Things definitely looking on the up for you again. What are you thinking here with, who are you trying to kill the mini jacks with?
I think I want my general to be further away, so I want my Mystic to be closer to him.
Yeah.
So I hit it with my general.
Yeah, I think I definitely prefer that. Your general, you're not really worried if that's far away, but if your killing Mystic is, it's basically doing nothing. And the 1 damage isn't too relevant at this point.
Oh, also, well, it's 3 HP, it can't be twin stick, so that's good too.
Yeah, also, yeah, that's a very good point actually.
Oh, he just conceded them.
Yeah, so pretty pretty one-sided end to a pretty nice best of 5, but I think it was very interesting to see how that Vayner Songheim matchup works, because traditionally Vayner has been very weak to Songheim, but when we go for these kind of greedier Songhai decks, that pressure is gone, and then we just saw that you'd get to the 6 mana point and just outvalue him every time.
Oh yeah. It is a lot harder if I do go first. We even did a 6 game just out of the best of 5 just to test it, and I went first, and it was really difficult because I couldn't get to 6 mana as easily, and Tuskboard going second is so strong.
Yeah, so I guess we were a bit unlucky not to see that, but I can definitely see that. Songhai really likes going, double 2-drops. Then we have, lots of 3-drops, Lantern Fox, and another 2-drop the next turn if you can. Definitely a lot of, massive opening starts to the game. And with the new patch starting with 5 cards, Songhai starts are just so explosive and actually really consistent now, which it's pretty brutal to verse, but pretty fun to play.
Yeah, Tuskboard, getting Tuskboard every single game is so scary.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Vanna currently does do decently versus Songhai if you build your deck with lots of early game like both tiers, but if you go first, it's a lot harder than second.
Yeah, hopefully there is a solution to that for tournaments and stuff in the future, because I really don't like having it be completely random like that. And you don't want to be the guy in a tournament who says, "Oh, I didn't get to go first at all." Like, you just want it to be equal. But anyway,
especially in what?
Oh, sorry, you can just finish up.
Oh, especially before the 3rd Wish nerf, the one where it gave blast to everything, going first was so important back then, so it definitely, like, everybody complained about not going first back then.
Yeah, there's definitely been a few times in the tournaments where I haven't been very happy about it, but I think even if
Yeah.
it's just in the tournament rules where it states you have to make sure beforehand, because it needs to be agreed on beforehand, that you can
Yeah.
just concede if it's not. But yeah, I think something will eventually change there, hopefully. Anyway, we've been going for quite a long time, about 55 minutes. Massive thanks for coming
Oh.
on. Would you like to tell everyone where they can find you, wherever, whatever, really?
Um. Like social media and stuff.
Yeah, just whatever. I know you post a lot on
Or
Reddit as well.
oh
Just
oh
anything you'd like to shout out.
yeah. Yeah, I usually post a bunch of like guides and stuff, like usually from tournaments, explaining like high level play and how to improve and stuff. But my Twitter is just NowayitsJJ, and I'm on the Duels Discord all the time, so you can find me there.
Alright, awesome. A massive thanks for coming on. It was some really good games. Two top level players playing a best of 5 is always pretty nice to watch. If you guys want to see more of this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.